completely being recorded right now.
Woo, we're gonna do this. Okay. Um, One of the things that I know that Ariel asked, I don't see Ariel here today, so we will make sure and get that answer, but it's actually an ask that so many of you had. She said, one of my biggest challenges today is where and how to find employees. Um, is this, and this is kind of a rhetorical question, but I really want you guys to see, literally raise your hand on the screens right now. Is this a challenge for you? Like, is this just something that you're baffled about? You feel like you can't find a good one. You don't know where to start. Anybody, show of hands, where are you on that if this is a struggle for you employees as a whole? Not a, Jonathan, okay. Laura, no. Ashley, yes. Okay,
Employees
Karen,
as well?
yes.
I want to say maybe.
Maybe, okay.
Did
I'm
you say
sorry,
employees?
employees, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Um, what I think that we're going to do is we are, I'm gonna find maybe one of the HR speaker that was on the summit. Cannot
Katina.
remember. Yeah, oh, Katina. I could see her
Mhm.
beautiful face, and I'm like, Katina,
Uh-huh.
Katina. I didn't want to call her the wrong name. Let me see if she can do just a very in-depth kind of expert speaking call workshop. Oh, there's Ariel
Mhm.
coming in now as we speak. A very in-depth expert speaking call, maybe almost a mini workshop, because I have my experience with employees, but it doesn't mean that's everybody else's experience for employees. So I think it would be helpful to get the opinion of kind of the outside person. I mean, one of the things that I did this morning is my admin for Saver had to quit due to a family emergency. She's been out for 2 weeks and then she finally quit last week. And I hired a VA for Saver. This is the first time ever that I've done that. And her name is Heather.
Oh my God, that's the
They
worst.
follow you. They follow you then.
Oh,
No, that's
guess
not
what?
the only Heather.
Guess uh so I went to see Cherie yesterday, who's in the hospital from back surgery. She's in the same hospital my brother-in-law is in. So I kind of walked across the campus and walked in, and Cherie's nurse came in, and Cherie's nurse said, "Hi, my name is Heather. Who are you?" And I'm like, "Oh my God." It's just
Anybody ever seen that flick Heathers?
so I'm surrounded by Heathers, and so far they've been amazing. So we're just gonna hire Heathers. And
Hey, Claudia
yeah,
was asking how Cherie is doing, and I know that just can you give just a tiny quick?
can. I can. I will share with you everything that she is comfortable with me sharing. I did go see her yesterday. She has not been out of bed in about a week. Every time she stands up, she passes out. And her legs are numb, and now her hands are numb. They are saying it is because of the swelling. They are also doing an MRI as well. So they're still saying surgery is successful. So that's what I know. So
Mhm.
she's
And she's on
she
drugs.
I'm sorry, what?
She's on drugs.
Yes, well,
Yeah, she sent me
okay.
some really confusing texts.
She is on drugs, but that's okay.
Exactly. Very
That's all right.
confusing.
Yeah. I will definitely send her all the love. So she had thoracic
Mhm.
spine surgery. She needs cervical spine and she needs lumbar spine. But she was just giving everybody a hard time when they walked into the room, the nurses, and yeah, she was still trying to pass out toffee. So that is where we are. Okay. So, Ariel, thank you for joining us. One of the things that we were just talking about is the biggest challenges of where and how to find employees. So, this was your question. I know you're off screen. If you want to stay off screen, that's fine. But can you, are you able to unmute yourself so I can ask you a question so we can learn a little bit more? She might not be able
Yeah,
to.
I can talk a little
there
bit. I'm
Hi.
meal prepping right now at a client's
No
house.
problem. So one of your biggest challenges is where and how to find employees, and that's a lot of people's biggest challenges. So I have 1,000 questions for you surrounding that so that people can learn a little bit more. And after we get to some of these questions, we're going to go into a little bit of some teaching as well. But I want to make sure your questions are answered. So have you started to find employees? Cannot find them? Tell me what's going on with employees.
Um, yeah, I started to at one time, and then I think I just got frustrated with the process, because I
Okay.
had maybe about like 6 interviews lined up, out of the people that applied, and nobody showed up, and only one responded that something came up and they're gonna have to miss it, which is fine. But and then I think I was just frustrated after that, and then I kind of got a random person after that,
Okay.
but it didn't really work out because he had a full-time job and just the scheduling didn't work out.
Okay. Do you do you do provide services in the home or from a commercial kitchen?
In the home.
In the home. Okay. And are you looking for somebody to go into other people's homes? So like a contract
Yes.
chef? You are.
Yes.
Okay. How did you look on Indeed or how did you put that out?
Yeah, Indeed, and then it was two like free platforms, but I can't remember them. But
Okay.
Indeed was the one that I did pay for, that I got like the leads from, but nobody
Okay.
really showed up.
We have learned that there's some specifics and I want to go into what you were talking about, and then I'll say also what Katina was talking about as well. We have found that over the years, first and foremost, you have to be brave enough to want to hire. So many times we hire people for lack of bandwidth, or we don't really want to hire, we don't really know what to do with them, so we're just going to throw spaghetti against the wall and hope somebody good shows up. Um, Unfortunately, in today's hiring environment, you have to write, there's a difference between a job post and a job description. Many people don't know that. When you create a job post, that's almost like a marketing and advertising piece to attract the right person to you, as opposed to a list of a job description. In that posting that you put on Indeed or wherever it is that you choose to put it, there almost has to be nothing about a description or the actual responsibilities of what they're doing. More so, we have found that when you talk about quality of life, what it is to work for you, the culture, the core values that you have, and then go into the position that they're looking for, then what happens from there is that you start to attract people that want to come to work for you. Instead of going to find them, you attract them. Whenever you start to attract these people, then the hard part comes for most people is how do I interview them? So there's, like I said, there's a huge, huge difference between attracting and finding. And then what we have found is posting versus a description. Is this making sense so far?
Yes. So I don't want to post the description in the post, in the
So
Indeed post.
this is what we're going to do. Heather, can you drop the link to my calendar in the
Absolutely. Give me 1 second.
okay. Um we're going to answer a lot of questions about hiring because everybody does have them. And but she is dropping the link to my calendar so that you and I can get on a call and talk through your particular hiring situation. But in answer to your question, so please use that calendar link. So what you're actually asking is, you said, do I not want to describe or put the job duties in the post? Is that what I heard you say?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you actually don't. Here's why.
Okay.
I know, because the face of hiring has changed so much. every single time we hear from any type of HR, recruiting company, all of those other things, they tell us over and over again we are putting way too much in our job posting, and we should not put the entire description in there because it's taking too long for people to read it. They are moving on. All a posting is for is to tell them the value of working for you, what the job is about that they're applying for, what they're going to make, kind of the hours, the days, those types of things, and kind of an overview of what the job entails. It is just enough to get them to respond to it so that when they're on an interview phone call with you, you can then go deeper with the description. Make sense? Okay, it's different. It's very different. But this is a tried and true uh, scenario that has been used many times and it works. Because long gone is the day that um, we all have a job, and let's call it a sous chef or an in-home chef or an executive chef or a head chef, that we're like, here's the job, here's the hours, here's the pay, here's what you're going to do, send your resume. Doesn't happen anymore. It's almost a wooing. Does
Okay.
that make sense?
It does make sense. It doesn't, and obviously my way didn't work, so I'm gonna try that.
Well, we can talk through it more, but also I would be remiss if I didn't tell you that you weren't going to kiss a lot of frogs. You're going to kiss
Yeah.
a lot of frogs before one turns into a prince or princess. So it's just the nature of it. But the more that you're willing to do it, the better people you will find and faster. Because some people, I see your faces on the call, you can attest to this. Each person you hire makes it easier to hire the next one because you can write a better and better and better job posting and then a job description.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Ariel, is this your first one?
First hire.
First hire? Yes.
Yes, yes. Yeah,
Yes.
I really just have somebody who helps me out like randomly with events if she's available, but she's not like really there. she's
She's
just kind of
she's
she's
whenever
just
she
kind of if she's around type thing. Yeah, she's a college student, a little busy. Yeah.
we call those people helpers. And
Yeah, she's a
yeah,
helper.
helpers. Um, everybody starts out with a helper, and helpers never work out, ever work out. Sometimes it's a family member, sometimes it's a good friend, sometimes it's a nanny, sometimes it's, all these other things. And they're like, hey, they're just gonna come help me. I'm like, no, they're not. They're really not. Um, and really and truly, when each of you decides, and some of you have, to be serious that you legitimately have a business that you're going to grow, you will stop hiring helpers and you will get over your fear of this word called employee. You really, really will. A misconception of employees is that you have to guarantee hours. No, you absolutely do not. They are in culinary. They chose to be in culinary for a reason. You can absolutely tell them it's going to be about this many hours, but at no time can you guarantee hours. They chose a profession that can be very fluid. Now, I want to make sure, because one of the biggest things that we always hear is consistency of income. We kind of we have cracked the code on how to create consistency of income. It's just a matter of being willing to do it. It goes all the way back, starting with your brand, period, and brand. Starts with a brand, starts with consistency of that brand, and there's other things that back that up. But it is a responsibility when you start having employees. But the problem is most people don't want employees until they are just done. Like they can't, the business is running them. And then you have a tendency to hire people that you never would have hired had you had more bandwidth or more runway. Sounding familiar to anybody? Yeah. Okay. While we're on this concept of employees, before I go to the next question, and then just a little bit of some teaching from the call that we were on. And I'm about to get to your question next, Laura, and then a few others that have been asked. Any other questions on this concept of employees before we move on? No. Okay. Okay. Because believe me, we could do a whole day's workshop on employees. The next one was, Laura, is it okay if I read yours verbatim? Okay. Um, the fine line of retiring soon and wanting to conquer the world. Add in small dose of fear. The inconsistent ability to get new clients and the sheer expense to acquire kitchen space, taxes, etc. here in the Northeast. So, Laura, do you want to tell them exactly where you live?
I live in Massachusetts.
Yeah.
Massachusetts.
So, Massachusetts. Um, so, many times, and it's interesting that you brought this up because so many times we walk that fine line between we're thinking that we want to slow down, or we, even when we get to the point of talking about the end result of the business. If you do want an active retirement, if you want to sell it, if you want to walk away from it, and walking away from a business is not a failure. Sometimes that's a really great choice for a lifestyle. Maybe it just came to an end to, kind of willing it to a family member. So, Laura, to be clear, well, let me go back before I ask you that question. So many times I work with business owners at different levels that have a sense of boredom in their business of what's next. Like when you get to the point where your business is running well and it's not running you, and you have consistency of income, and you still have staffing and all these other things, the normal things, we often hear, I'm bored. So, Laura, in working with some people that are in that mode of what am I doing next, kind of retiring versus semi-retiring, that word scares me, but I want to stay active, but I still love food and I want to have this business, but I want to slow down. And really and truly, what we're learning, to answer your question, is it seems to be more fear of being bored. Is that accurate?
I think it definitely could be a factor. I think I was bored for a while, but with the whole rebranding and everything, I'm excited again about the business. So I
No
don't
more meatloaf and mashed potatoes.
think only if absolutely necessary, but
And she's also selling coffee, which makes
Yeah,
everyone
the
happy.
coffee rocks. The coffee is so good.
thank you, thank you. Um, at this point, I don't think it's boredom. I go back and forth where, all right, my husband keeps telling me to slow down. The world keeps telling me to slow down, just kind of skating into that last little stretch of working life. The idea of retirement sounds appealing, but then I know I would be bored not working. So I know that's part of it. And then I'll drive by a building. I'm like, oh, I could buy that and make a kitchen.
Can I ask you an honest question?
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
I'm not sure. And that's again, I don't know. Like sometimes I do have that. If it was 10 years ago, I'd find a way to do it. And then other parts of it, it's like, no, I could slow down and just kind of do my own thing, have a few clients, get rid of everything, just be me again and just have a few clients and, work once in a while. I want a whole like community. I want a building. I want my own kitchen too. I want to go live in North Carolina by the water and not talk to anybody.
I as long as I've known you, I kind of think that you have a lot of people in your ear that think that they know best. And I think that you might need to listen to what you know best. Because I know you to be very active, very vibrant. You do love what you do. But because literally you're riding two horses with one ass of I'm kind of in retirement, but yet I love this business, nothing is getting done. So, and I don't think anything is going to get done until you decide to draw a hard line in the sand. Um, and there's nothing wrong with having the business that you want as retirement. Nothing wrong with that.
I mean, I'm definitely not going to give it up for any like this year or anything. It's definitely going to be another 5, 6, 7 years, maybe even 8 years.
Yeah.
I'll find something else to do. But yeah,
Do you guys hear that? Not this year, maybe 5, 6, maybe 8. So, Laura, seriously, I mean that speaks volumes of I think that you're forgetting that you have the choice to stop at any time. You do. Grow it if you want to grow it. I mean, if you want to move into a space, move into a space, but you can, I mean, if you want to grow it and see what you can do, then do that. But when you're ready to stop, stop. I promise you, and this is going to sound horrible and you guys will disagree with me. If you have a lot of clients at that time, either find them another chef or just let them know you're done. They won't starve.
Yeah.
They won't starve. So, I think you need to do some work on what does Laura want and not what everybody else wants Laura to do. So,
As Deb will say, get them out of your head.
get out of there, this stupid committee.
I know. I've
You
quieted
know,
down my committee a little bit, like Deb from when we first started. So I
yeah,
think we have made progress, even though it may not show on the outside. But
I know.
fired a few of those people and got them out of my way. So yeah. And then sometimes energy is just truly the factor too. I
Oh, I
mean,
know.
I'm not
Believe
30
me.
anymore.
One of the things, and this is a visual, and I need my board, but I think there's a Sharpie in here that I want to show you. So, one of the things that I was reminded of this week is that of all the ways that people pull at us. So, oh, I can do it this way. Okay. So, you have, we'll give this person some hair. Okay. See my cool face?
Mhm.
Wait, he
Yeah.
doesn't have nose. Just a second. Okay, he has a nose. Okay. See my cool face? Okay. Now watch this. And I'm going to tell you a story from this week. And then what will happen is I want you to understand this is the visual of what happens in everybody's life. Okay. So this week, there was a cord of my brother-in-law. See that?
Mhm.
Okay. Then there was a cord sticking out of my head of my family. Then there was a cord that came out of my head of I needed to find an admin for Saver. Then there's this thing called Saver. And then what happened is, and this is normal, but then there's this company called Chef Deb because I have for the first time ever a CEO retreat in Puerto Rico that we're doing in June. And then there's this company called Chef Deb. And then what happened? So, I mean, look at that. These are all the chords that come out of you sometime that people attach to you. And it's really hard to hear through that noise sometime. Make sense?
Mhm.
Yeah. That's a visual, Laura, of what happens to you and everybody else like us because we allow all those different chords and all those different people to plug into us. And it's not until we make those chords unplug that you're going to be able to listen to what Laura wants. It's there, and I think that you already know what you want. It's just a matter of doing it because it's the fear of what's on the other side of this if I make that decision. So, anybody else relate to that?
Yep.
Yep. Yeah. I have the opposite problem. I just do what I want to do anyway. And then I went, oh shit, that didn't work out at all. So, oh well. So,
That too.
okay. Would you say, Brenda?
That too.
I know. So, any thoughts on what we just talked about with Laura? Does that resonate with anybody? All the chords, people that pull at you? Yeah. And then you have your own mindset. So, Laura,
Love,
as far as go
I
ahead.
love Katie's quote, "Don't walk through my mind with your dirty feet."
Wait. I need to look at the chat real quick. Don't walk through my mind with your dirty feet. That's a Gandhi quote? Katie, that's
I
awesome.
don't. I was looking to see if that was because I was trying to find it because I was gonna grab it because I know someone made it pretty in Instagram somewhere.
Oh, Katie, there was a question you said, can you provide an example? Claudia said, someone in my group, let's do Claudia. Somebody in my group was told to write a job description for all the things I don't want to do. So, and then Katie said, can you provide an example? Let's go to Claudia first. Claudia, write a job description for all the things you don't want to do. So that's a little bit harder because most days we don't want to do any of it. That's just honest. So, what we've done is we've done this at Sharpen before. I've had people make a list of the things that they hate the most do in their business, like whatever that is for you. It could be returning a client email. It could be going to the grocery store. It doesn't matter. You have to start first with really thinking about here's all the things that I just absolutely do not like to do. Some people don't like to verbally call their clients back. They'll text in their email, but they don't like to use the phone. And whenever you can get that list out of your head of the things you don't like to do in your business, that is honestly what you give away first. And then from there, what happens is we have to look at, is this more of an admin? Is this more of a chef? Is this more kitchen assistant? I actually do this a lot when people are starting to grow a team. They're like, I need a chef. I'm like, do you need a chef first? Maybe, but maybe we need an admin first, maybe, and a kitchen assistant. Every business is so different that we have to see what you need first. So honestly, it's a list of here's all the things that I hate doing in my business. Usually the first three just come out like crazy. Usually you don't even have to think hard on that.
Timer, 8
Does that make
minutes,
sense?
starting now.
Heather, can you mute
I
everybody?
did.
Thank you. So yes, they are exactly right. And then we can build job descriptions from there. Okay. Katie, I know that you're off screen right now, but you said, can you provide an example? Could you let me know what example you need? Even if you put it in the chat, because maybe you can't talk or turn on your video. We're going to move on. Katie, when you have a chance, let me know what you need an example of. Is anyone trying to make sure what else we've got? Heather dropped my calendar in the chat. For those of you in coaching, you don't need the calendar invite. You have my personal information. Just a job. Katie said just a job description without specific, just a, I think just a job posting without, oh, I think I know what you're talking about. You're asking, I think, if I'm wrong, please tell me, how to write a job posting to attract the right client without saying the exact duties of the job. Okay, thanks, Katie. That helps me. So that's a really good question. What we have learned is to put the most important task that they'll be doing in the job posting. So if it is maybe a head chef, kitchen manager type of position. If you've been in that position before, you kind of know what you're going to be doing. So it's not necessary to say things like you're, going to the grocery store or labels and reheating. I don't know the thing, but you can generally say in charge of all kitchen operations to include vendor management, cost control measures, keeping up with, cleaning of the kitchen to ensure, we make the health department happy. You can say things like employee cost, food cost, those general big things that really matter in the position, not the little things. Like that can be a paragraph with 5 or 6 bullets, and you can literally say detailed description will be discussed with right candidate. So it's kind of the big rocks or the big things that you would need help with not every single little thing. Taking out the trash, that's not necessary for this particular thing. Katie, I hope that helps. They're not going to read all that anyway. They just won't. Because everybody skims and everybody's skimming for the title, full-time, part-time. How much are they paying in the days? That's what people are most important. That's the only thing that's going to get people to apply anyway, is that.
I would
So,
really love to have an expert speaking call with Katina on this specifically. That would be so great.
can you make a note so that we can ask her
Mhm.
that? Okay.
Absolutely. I did already ask her if she'd be interested in it, and she said yes. So we just need to get some dates. But yeah, that'd be excellent.
Okay. Katina could do it, and then also Rachel could do it as well. So either one could do it. We could bring them both in so that we can, learn from both of them because I also know that they're friends. So, um, okay. Did I miss something else in the chat? Subscription. Claudia, you said our group said to post on the following Facebook group, Marketplace, Craigslist, Nextdoor. I would say absolutely not to Craigslist unless you're hiring for a dishwasher. There's no Craigslist. It has never, and then I can literally say never in the history of helping people find clients, I'm sorry, employees, have they found quality candidates on Craigslist unless it was more of a dishwasher position. So, yes, that can be the fact, but depends on what position you're looking for. Um, Next door, I think it really just depends on where you live, to be honest with you. So, um, I know that Jonathan, you've had some luck with ZipRecruiter, correct?
Yes, I have. I feel like I had more candidates apply on ZipRecruiter than Indeed.
Okay.
Maybe because of my area, I don't know. But I haven't had much luck with Indeed.
It seems to be very local and very seasonal. I've gone between Indeed and ZipRecruiter. Lately, Indeed is working for me. When Indeed does not, I go to ZipRecruiter. But it
Yeah,
seems to be very kind of seasonal. And then also we have found that Indeed will work some areas of the country and other countries other areas of the country it just will not.
right.
So sometimes there's just a lot of testing of what will work and not work whenever it comes to that.
And also,
Um,
it depends on how much the dollar you spend. That's how
it's
uh,
true. That's
it,
true.
for your ad to show up too. So to the right
Yeah.
candidate.
And don't forget too, when you're looking for employees, one of the things that Katina said is that there's a mention in the posting of creating a safe work environment. That's important for culinary employees to know that they're in a safe workspace. And we have found that it's also important to say specifically, this is not your average kitchen. There's no attitudes, there's no egos. Those need to be checked at the door. And we literally say those words, and that seems to be a relief for many people whenever we say those things because they know right off to the bat they are not coming into an environment that possibly they are leaving or what wore them out in the first place. Something that's also valuable on job postings, we have found, and who taught me this? I think Liz Willard might have taught me this. Is something that's really important to say on job descriptions or job postings too, is that basically the life that they're going to have and when they come to work for you. In other words, because you people that come to work for companies like us are used to having long hours, no weekends, very little pay, standing for long hours. You're not going to say they're not going to stand for long hours, but we have learned to put things in there about you'll finally have a quality of life. You'll finally be able to be home for dinner. You will finally get to be creative whenever you cook. So making some mention of, the environment itself is different, but also that they'll get to go home and make their family dinner if they choose, or, have a life outside of work. They'll have their evenings and their weekends free. Now, it's okay to say, something. I think in my job postings, I put something about if weekend work is required, it's scheduled ahead of time because we might have an occasional catering on a weekend. We just do. So, but they know about it ahead of time. I think that what we forget many times is we have an opportunity here to really change the way that culinary is done when it comes to staffing. Because we have such unique businesses, we have opportunities to give people that they cannot find anyplace else. And I don't care how small you are. You have the same opportunities that anybody else has, whether you're hiring your first employee or your 12th. It doesn't matter. The opportunity that you give people doesn't change. The other thing that happens in hiring for many of you guys that I often hear is, why me? I'm going to screw it up. They're going to understand I don't know what I'm doing. They're going to think that this is such a messed up business because I've never done this before because I don't even know. I finally convinced, and she's not here today, Sarah. I told Sarah, have an honest conversation and say, I've never hired anybody before. We're going to learn through this together. If you're okay with that, like, let's get started. I want you to teach me as much as I'm going to teach you. There's a certain refreshing conversation to have in that. And I think most of the time we're not vulnerable enough to do that. But you will find a different employee if you're vulnerable enough to do that. Let me make sure that I got everything taken care of. Sample, slipping through. Okay, does anybody have what came up for you? I just want to, for those of you that are on the call, could a brave soul or two just share some ahas as a result of the summit? We got great comments from you guys as far as the speakers that we found, and especially the Burnt Chef Project and what we learned about mental health and those types of things. It's an incredible group of people. We are going to do these summits about once a quarter. So we're finding some great people. Can somebody share ahas from that summit, please, so that people can learn from you as well? Anybody? Go ahead, Brenda. I see. Go
Yeah.
ahead. It's okay. Go ahead.
I reached out to John. I have a meeting with him tomorrow.
Oh, the attorney. Yes.
Yes.
Nice guy.
He's amazing. He now knows a lot of things that I need to do with different sections of my business.
Yes.
That was a very good conversation I had with him. And also with I just forgot what you just say with the burning to chef, whatever.
The
Sorry,
Burnt Chef Project.
yeah. I looked at it and I tried to sign up also for that because I want to help. I want to and I want to get help as well. So
Did you say that you tried to sign up? Were you not able to?
no, I don't know. At the time that I did it, I was in the middle of something, and the internet was not working correctly. So
Okay. I just wanted to make sure that there wasn't a hang up, so we could get you in touch with Halima if that was the case.
yes, I've been a little bit busy, but yeah, I'll do it. I mean, yeah, I'm sorry, I'm everywhere. So
No, you're fine.
it's not a good day today. Anyway,
So
that's
I'm
it.
glad he was able to help you. Good.
Yes, yes.
I was very impressed with him whenever I talked to him as well. So I'm really glad. And I know he's already helped a few other people. Any other ahas or things that you learned as a result of go ahead, Laura.
Yeah, like that whole Burnt Chef project, I had no idea something like that existed. I mean, obviously, I am aware that restaurateurs, restaurant staff obviously have a lot of issues. We've gone from, back in the day of heavy drug use and that kind of thing to
Right.
just true burnout and those things along the way, but like all the other factors that are tied into that. And to know that there is a group out there and that it is coming to the States is so refreshing and so just inspiring to know that that group is doing that kind of work. So that kind of blew my mind that that's out there and
I
that,
know.
yes, there's a problem and we all know that, but that there is actually a group working to help solve that.
Mhm.
Hugely so in the UK. Hugely so. And I was quite impressed with them too. And especially if any of you choose to go on their website, their free resources and downloadables and just, I mean, their kind of lifelines and all those other things is just absolutely staggering. It's really cool. So I'm really glad that that's coming to the States. And like I said, they are looking for ambassadors um, as well. And I wish that I had those resources early on whenever I started hiring employees also, because wow, did I do some things wrong. I did. So hugely, hugely valuable. But I was very impressed with them too. And whenever Halima said, "Sure, we'll come to the summit," I'm like, "Really? Okay." So, um, I'm hoping that the next summit, I've been in touch with a former editor of Food and Wine magazine, so I think she's coming to the next summit, and we've got some other cool people coming too. It's amazing, whenever you realize that some of these, and Claudia, I do see your hand. It's amazing that whenever you decide that these people are just people and that it's really not about you and it's about all of you, that it sure is easy to ask the questions and then stay after them. So there's some people that I wanted to talk to you and introduce you to and for you to learn from. And if they didn't get back to me, I literally did some research and found them and said, "Why didn't you get back to me?" And they were like, "I missed this," or "I didn't even realize, and I'm so sorry." I'm like, "I have a community that needs you. Let's talk about you being on a call with them." And some of them were very polite and said, "I'm traveling at that time. How about the next one? And could we set up a call?" Other people were like, "Yeah, no, I don't have time for you." I'm like, "Okay, great. Maybe some other time. Sorry, you're missing out on my people." So, I think, Claudia, you said that you had a question.
Oh, I thought you were asking for feedback on your
Yes,
summit.
please go for it. And
Um,
Ariel, I see your hand. Go
yeah.
ahead, Claudia.
So I appreciated Edie Weintraub speaking to us, and then also your input with her was the stuff about I'm new to this program and running my business, right, but I've made some steps forward, as you know, thanks to you guys. And she reminded me about some stuff I needed to do in business, but working with you since last August, I've quote unquote found resources, maybe not always your resources, but it pushed me to find my own, right? And that's okay too. Like a bookkeeper, that's
Yeah.
cool. The little things that it's like, because I am who I am, I can think of a million things at once and I drive people crazy if I say it all out loud. And so just getting focused with a math person and using an app so that all my thoughts can just go away on that topic of math and expenses and bills. And so that's been nice to offload that, meeting her people that have this company called hourly.io. I don't know exactly how I'm going to use it, but it's some sort of like a way to hire people and they clock in and clock out and you can see, yeah, they're at work and it helps you do your payroll. So I'm going to have a thing with them. So that summit helped me think of my business with that kind of stuff. Bookkeeper. I do have the privilege of having benefits with my spouse who works at Microsoft for quote free legal. And yet, because I don't want to admit my health problems, I just wrote my own will. Like
Claudia.
I'm having the big one. I mean, I was having the big one down in Dallas and I had to go in the hospital. So I'm like, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna write my own will. So I need to take care of shit with an attorney. What else?
Yeah.
Yeah, just backup vendors, having good clean books. I have all that now.
Good.
Do I
That's
have
fantastic.
standard operating procedures? No, I don't. I need to do that. I'll shut up.
You know that, oh my gosh, Claudia, bless you. That is the one thing I kept thinking there was something that I didn't get that I needed to get from y'all. Darrow Graham talked about an easier way to do SOPs by doing videos and then having them do transcripts that you can break down your SOPs. And I needed to follow up with them. And it was the one thing he didn't send me. So I'm going to be doing that so I can send that to you. Thank you, Claudia. You just helped trigger something in my brain.
Yeah.
Pardon my ignorance. What are SOPs if we cannot use abbreviations, please?
Standard operating procedures.
Oh, that one. Okay. Got
Yeah.
it.
So that in your absence, things still run as if you were still there. So, and they can be a bear, but once you start them, that's actually what I'm really excited about the VA starting is because that's the first thing they do is as I teach her the admin position, she immediately writes an SOP for it so that if she ever has to be out or for any reason, vacation or illness or whatever, another VA can step into her place and run the office for us as if she had never left. I don't know that they have another Heather. So I was actually interviewing two VA companies, and the other VA company said, "Oh, so you're going to interview Heather?" I'm like, "What?" So even the other VA company, the
I'm
person I was
wondering,
supposed to,
is this, should I be scared? Like,
I don't know.
something happening?
Like, how is this happening? So anyway, okay. Go ahead, Laura.
Yeah, I think with all these Heathers, perhaps you need a trip to Scotland.
Oh, I think I need something. It's kind of interesting that you would say that. Apparently, my brother-in-law's wishes is that he has his ashes scattered in Scotland because it's his favorite.
There you
So
go.
yeah, I think that
You
Yeah.
see,
oh, that
there is a
that just
connection for everything then.
there is. I never doubted it. That just became a write-off, didn't it? Because Laura said so. So
I'll back you up.
we have
I
it
have to go
recorded.
with you. I have to go with you for moral support.
Fine. I need somebody there to help. So
I think you need to
perfect.
send me and Laura as part of business.
Hey,
Oh,
why only the two of you have privileges?
so I'm sorry, Brenda, what did you say?
Why only those two have privileges?
Hey, anybody can come to Scotland. We can totally do this. It's fine. I have not ever been to Scotland. I would love to go. No problem. We'll schedule another we since some of the coaching clients went to Italy last year, maybe the next one is Scotland. So that that makes sense to me. Okay. Any other shares from the summit that ahas, things that you have comments about? Seeing any more? Um, Brenda, I do want to say good luck at your big food show that you have coming up. Are you leaving tomorrow or Friday?
Yes, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. Okay. Yeah, you're going to be on stage with, it won't work, Heather. No more balloons until you don't need them. You're going to be on you're going to be on the stage with some big time names and well deserved. You've worked hard. So very proud of you. We can't wait to hear all about the food show and what's going to happen there.
I'm
So,
excited and nervous at the same time, but we'll do okay. We'll do great as a matter of fact.
Okay, so to get over that nervousness, just visualize like everything. Like visualize it so that you already have set
you've
in
already
your
done it.
head. You've already done it. There's nothing to be
Yeah.
afraid of. Just kind of visualize all the way through it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
That's
there's always that little thing that I didn't thought about, and then shit, why did I not think about that? But yeah, I have everything written. Everything is like already packed, and we just have to go tomorrow, get the mole sauce, and put them in the car, and let's go.
you know what you need to know? There's nothing that's ever perfect. And you are going to forget some things. You are going to say some things that you possibly wish you hadn't have said, but you're the only one that's going to know it. And really and truly, what comes out in that moment is exactly what was supposed to come out. There's literally no way you can screw this up. It's not gonna happen. You're wanting to be perfect, and they don't need you to be. They need you to be Brenda, the one that we love. Yep, that's what they need. So,
And
okay,
you belong there, Brenda. That's the cool part.
Huh?
yeah,
You belong there.
Thank
you
you.
belong there.
Thank you, Miss Jen.
Yes,
Oh,
ma'am.
you do belong there. Okay. Um, any other ahas before I let you guys go? But I'm gonna leave you with one thing so that you can think about some things today. Any other ahas? Okay. I just kind of want to leave you with one of the, and it's more of a reminder because we've talked about these things before. And so many times we get stuck in our own little worlds of our business. And I really want to remind you that there's really only 5 ways to make more money in business. Those 5 ways is one, to add products to services and services to products. We've talked about this before. It's not something that you have to do, but kind of like Brenda added mole, she uses them in her personal chef services. Laura now has a line of coffee that she can also sell as well in the caterings and the personal chef services that she does. As you guys go through your day and people ask you about, could you make more of that broth? Could you make more of that sauce? Don't forget that while you don't have to bottle them and have co-packers and, all of those things, you certainly can if you want to, because that's one of the things that Brenda's doing. And then also Laura has done as well. Don't forget that those can be add-ons to other services also. Start offering those to your other clients. Ask them, even if you do catering and this is something that you make over and over again in your personal chef service, don't forget to say, hey, do you want to add this on for breakfast tomorrow morning? Or do you want this for later in the week? Don't forget that the things that you make over and over again, whether it's an actual product or a process, there's value in that, whether it be intellectual property or something that is actually edible. I need many of you to pick your head up from cooking, chopping all those onions, and realize that the processes you have, and then also the things that people ask you for over and over again, are very valuable. That kind of goes into the number 2 of sell more to the clients you already have. If you were only just doing catering for them, or you were only just doing an occasional cooking class for them, or you are only doing a catering for them, there's so much more to the rest of their life. If you're catering them for them, ask them if they need a couple of meals to get them through the next week to introduce a personal chef service. If you're doing a cooking class and the cooking class, they're enjoying the cooking class, put a package together and sell them on a package of classes. Don't forget there's opportunities for memberships, there's opportunities for upsells, there's opportunities for everything that you do. Um, so many times too, and I just did this at Savor.
Sorry.
I I realized that I was not that gas had gone up, groceries had gone up, tolls had gone up, everything has gone up. So I sent out a raising prices letter. I didn't raise my chef fees, but I certainly raised delivery fees and I raised our grocery fees. And I was just like the rest of you. I'm like, well, let's get ready for the pushback. And I've done this for 21 years. There was no pushback. It, not at all. None. They just went ahead and paid it like it was nothing. And some people's regular service increased by 80 to $100. But you take $100 times 40 something clients, how much more money did I make last month? So 40 clients at $100 each times 4.3 weeks. And all I did was raise prices on something that I was already paying for anyway. So things like that to keep in mind. We're often so worried about raising chef fees that we forget about some of those other prices. And remember, sometimes even just a 1% pricing change in something in your business will make a huge, huge difference to your bottom line. Make sense? Okay. Any other questions? And for those of you guys that I think Ariel is one of the only ones that's left on the call. Ariel, if you I'm gonna have Heather email you the link to my calendar as well, so that you can have that in case it was hard for you to grab from the chat, in case you want to talk more about employees, so we can get you help with that, okay? Okay.
Oh, that would be great. And
Yeah.
I had my hand up earlier and then my iPad died. I was just gonna ask if you could put the link to the website. I signed up for the thing the other day, but I couldn't make it.
Oh, the summit itself.
Yes.
Okay.
So the website you were talking about, that was so good. Can I get that and take a look?
Is
What website?
Somebody was
which
talking about, oh man, I can't remember.
I think it's the Wounded Warriors he's talking about.
Oh no, you're talking about
No,
the
it was
Bert Sheffer from Darrow for the
yes,
policies and procedures.
yes, that.
Okay. Yeah.
Could she put that in the email too?
I absolutely can.
It looks
Thank
like
you
Heather
so
can.
much.
You're welcome.
My grandbabies are outside my window apparently with sidewalk chalk. They're being supervised. So I've
Hey,
got
Ariel, can I verify that your email is privatechef a92@gmail?
Yes, ma'am.
awesome.
Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Any last questions or comments? Claudia, Deb, can you get Shuri's Venmo to send her cash?
Like maybe she needs some cash flow.
I'll ask her.
Okay.
But I'm happy to do that. Let me ask her. I'll probably pop over there and see her. If not today, I can also text her, but I know that's so amazing for you to ask that. Thank you. I know that she has her team that has been to a few different uh, workshops and stuff for her, but this has definitely been a blow for her. As you guys know, she's busy in all
And
things.
the
So,
non-stop lady.
yes, she is. So, anything else
Yes.
I can answer for you? No, let's see. Thank you for putting all this together. It's much appreciated.
Good
So
luck,
value for
guys.
this. You're more than welcome. You're more than
Good luck.
And
welcome.
we are planning another summit. So we've got to get all our speakers all lined up first, but we do intend to have another summit for you in the future. Yes,
I
Claudia.
see you, Claudia. Go for it.
2 seconds. I pay for HoneyBook and I use it for my clients. Some of them get blocked by the spam filters. And that is certainly the situation for some of our members. So since I'm not blocked, I send it to a bunch of people. So I'm just wondering any advice you have for some of the people that are not able to see HoneyBook for whatever reason. Like they know how to go in their rules and undo them, but it's just not working for some. And I just say to my clients, go to deleted, go to spam, and then they find me there sometimes. It's just such a weird tool.
That seems to
Well,
be the
this is
case.
happening. This
Yeah.
is happening across the board, and Dawn spoke to it in our last call about Google, and all of these companies are just really fighting
Well,
to
I
not get
see,
caught in
I
people's
do
spam.
see that. I do see that. Why would it be HoneyBook though?
It's not just HoneyBook. There's times
Oh,
people can't get Chef Deb's email, and
Oh.
other
Contracts.
people can get it perfectly easy. It's literally not specific to any one app. It's any. We have people that can't get Flowdesk. We have people that couldn't get
They can't get.
Infusionsoft before that.
okay.
Yep. I always, anytime I send out anything from a third party, like, something we use like HoneyBook or Keep or a CRM or QuickBooks even, I always follow up with a text and say, did you get it?
So
I know it's a
since
lot
you-
of work.
Also,
keeping it-
Claudia,
Mhm.
HoneyBook has started to integrate SMS texting. I
Mhm.
would recommend you reach out to them, because when you send anything, you can also have it automatically. You can have them opt in to receive a text also. So if they don't get the email, they get the text.
That's cool. I understand that. I was just trying to help you guys get your members into your summits.
HoneyBook has nothing to do with
Oh.
our summits, though.
Yeah, we send that through what Flowdesk?
Well, we send a few different ways, but Flowdesk
Okay.
is one way that we send. But yeah, we don't send anything about that summits about the summit in Honeybook.
What is the tool that you're using that I can see that other people can't see?
I have no idea.
I don't know.
When I see your clickable link in my email,
Your email would always be coming from Flowdesk.
so I can see that, but a lot of your members can't see that. And so then
And it's really interesting because people will tell us they didn't receive an email from Flowdesk, but Flowdesk shows me every time an email is delivered. So I can tell them, well, the email was delivered. And then oftentimes they'll find it in their spam. And
Okay.
this is just, have you noticed a lot of companies now saying, add this to your contact list so that it won't go to your spam? And so I've been doing that with a lot of the companies that I follow now that I never did that with before, because they're starting, like even my Kroger's, which I get coupons from every week, they started going to my spam. So I added them to my contact list. So I think it's just the nature of email right now, unfortunately.
Yeah, it looks like is having struggles getting some of our emails. She said maybe it's in my spam, but I don't even know what I'm looking for.
Tal,
Maybe
I'm
it's
gonna go and look and see if it's showing as delivered for you.
so
Just simply because there's really nothing that we can do if it shows that it's delivered.
where it's
Then
going.
that means that it got where it's going. It's just being put somewhere else once it lands there. That's so
Yeah.
frustrating. I'm so sorry.
IT challenges. So
Thanks,
okay,
everybody.
everybody.
Good luck.
Yeah, thank you guys for joining today. Reach out for questions. We'll see you guys next time.
Bye. Good luck.
Absolutely. Bye.
Bye.
You love Deb.
Bye. Thank you.
I'll think of you.
Thank
If you
you.
want to cancel tomorrow, let me know.
If I want to what?
Cancel tomorrow. We
Oh,
have a call tomorrow.
I know. We'll see. Thank you for that. Thank you for that offering. We will see. Thank you though. Okay.
Love you.
Bye everybody.
Bye.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.